and gentlemen, in the zeal to slander and deride Sanatan, are the champions of India's cultural and religious renaissance being targeted? I'm asking this today because a Sanatan crusader had to face trial by fire before he was vindicated by the Supreme Court of our land. 2 days ago, an army of 150 policemen loaded into a convoy of buses and cars stormed into Isha Foundation's ashram in Tamil Nadu's Coimbatore. They carried out raids after a man filed a habeas corpus petition in the Madras High Court alleging that his daughters were being held there illegally. But today, the Supreme Court has halted police action, saying you cannot let an army of police inside an ashram. In fact, Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, took over the case, saying that, I quote, 2 girls told the Supreme Court they were staying at the ashram voluntarily. They are free to move around, and one of the girls even participated in a marathon abroad. This is an issue of religious freedom. Sadhguru, the man who actually runs the Isha Foundation and runs the ashram in Coimbatore, has been in the eye of a storm over the last few days. And Sadhguru is very revered figure, said the Chief Justice of India, and he has lakhs of followers. The High Court cannot start such inquiries on oral assertions. This was none less than the Chief Justice of India making a statement in the court before passing an order to stay any action by the High Court or by the Tamil Nadu Police. After the supreme vindication for Sadhguru, the BJP was quick to ask why the Tamil Nadu Police promptly sent 150 policemen to raid the ashram. They have alleged that the Congress DMK Sarkar has a Sanatan Samapt agenda, Sanatan phobia, and have vindictively targeted the spiritual guru. The state of Tamil Nadu, of course, is hiding behind the High Court order to probe the case. Watch this vicious barrage of attack.
We know that their agenda has always been Sanatan Samapt. Their agenda has always been Sanatan is equal to Bimari, abusing Hindu religion, Hindu Astha, Hindu leaders. The same promptness has never been shown by the alliance towards illegal activities taking place in the name of religion.
This is the party which has worked so long for the welfare of the Hindus who were sidelined and insulted by the upper caste people, which is what they call as Sanatana Dharma.
Okay.
So we are not against Hindus.
Okay.
We are for Hindus.
But why does the BJP accuse the India alliance of being anti-Sanatan? Remember, they have in the past equated Sanatan to dengue, malaria, and even AIDS and called for its eradication. But Sadhguru has always stayed away from such controversies. I had met him earlier this year and asked him about the Sanatan baiters and the statements that had come in from the leaders of the India alliance. Watch how he dismissed it as divisive politics and nothing but politics when he spoke to me on Times Now. Somebody comes out and says Sanatan is leprosy.
No, don't go there. AIDS. Don't go there. See, that is out of whatever. Leave that. Those are political things. I don't want to get into politics.
Is it political? It is a seminar, it is a get-together on how to eradicate Sanatan. Is it political?
Yes, because this country runs like that. Elections are run like that, by separating people, all right? So that's a different matter.
So ladies and gentlemen, the legitimate question that we're asking on the Newshour tonight, is the Sanatan crusader on target? That's the question and that's the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Joining the debate tonight, Radhika Khera, national spokesperson of the BJP. Also joining me this evening is Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, political commentator, Utkarsh Nethani, TV and film writer and volunteer at the Isha Foundation, joining the debate. And joining me this evening, Sanjay Jha, author, Congress leader, S. Harish, Mohammad Ibrahim, political analyst, supports the DMK. Also joining me on the show, Tariq Khan, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. And my first question goes to Utkarsh Nethani, who is a volunteer at the Isha Foundation. And Utkarsh Nethani, I want to ask you this question. This habeas corpus petition and the subsequent raid by 150 policemen, I want to ask you, is there any connection to this and the bias against Sanatan that has been very evident in the government of Tamil Nadu and the India Alliance as a whole? Because any talk of religion is seen as communal by them, and this state, specifically the state of Tamil Nadu, has seen conferences held on the eradication of Sanatan, and now Sadhguru and the Isha Foundation being on target. Are these connected?
Yeah, first of all, namaste, Navika ji, and you make a very valid point that we are living at times where in particular state, Sanatan is not just a religious word, but now also a medical term. So the connection between the two, of course, in reality does not exist. But a connection is being made that can be seen. It's important to understand here that when habeas corpus, which term literally means where is the body, was being utilized at a place where somebody was running a marathon. Ma Mayu is somebody that I have interacted with personally. They were available all the time, and yet it was being shown as if, like, where is the body? Where are they? And for that, not 1, 2, but 150 people were required. So, just as an observer, we can see that there was perhaps a very clear attempt at making bigger news about it than it was, to create an example out of somebody. Unfortunately, a person was picked whose entire perspective has nothing to do with such drama, who is just talking about how to live life in an appropriate manner. So it's really sad. And I will also say one more thing here about when somebody is taking sannyas. Let's look at this word very clearly. Sannyas, the Sanskrit word, is samyak nyas. Samyak meaning appropriate or whole, and nyas is to deposit, to put. Samyak Nyas is a person who will detach and put down everything, and as per Sanatan, religious and a medical term, in our life, it is a part of everybody's life. We all have to go through that, but some are there who feel a calling and they actually make a choice to do this earlier. And this has been a practice in this faith, in this religion is a minor term, I will say, in this culture for millennia. And in such situation, when something happened, it is also a very common thing that when somebody wants to step out, yes, parents will feel something. But to give it the kind of twist that was given here, if it was not going to be political or something, what else could it be?
Well, let me ask you, Harish. Harish, was this political vendetta? Was this an extension of the Sanatan phobia that has been on display over the last several months?
Whenever there is something kind of this nature comes in, you always try to portray as if the entire state government is against one particular religion. That is wrong. And we have 80,000 plus temples which has been running peacefully among millions and billions of people inside. And number two, Mr. Sadhguru is not a saint by himself, right? And he is a professional godman who is a corporate godman who is making millions and trillions of money through, and he has so much of cases pending against him. And this case, when it is a habeas corpus filed by a retired professor to bring back his two daughters where he is approaching in the High Court. And the High Court is giving a clear direction to nab what is happening inside the Isha Foundation. And where comes the state government role in this? And then with the High Court directions, the Isha Foundation has been raided. and the submission should be happen by October 4th in the Madras High Court, which is what the direction is. And before that, the Honorable Apex Court of this country immediately within a single day took the case from itself from the Madras High Court and make sure that the police investigation, whatever the reports they have generated, should come to them directly to the Supreme Court. What is the need?
Are you accusing the Supreme Court and the Chief Justice of India? Are you accusing
No.
What else?
That is your,
what else are you saying?
Perception. That is your perception. I am.
You just said
hyphenated. I am perplexed as a citizen. Why to some extent, for some of them, the Supreme Court or any court acting in a single day, whether it is Salman Khan or whether it is Sadhguru case, where the Umar Khalid has been fighting for 4 years without even a trial.
Okay. So Anand Ranganathan, as a citizen, aren't you perplexed that a habeas corpus, if it has to be followed also, does it require 150 people of the Tamil Nadu Police to raid Isha Foundation's ashram in Coimbatore? As a common citizen, are you perplexed by this action of the Tamil Nadu Police?
Good evening, Navika, and good evening to my fellow panelists. There are a couple of issues out here. First of all, I'm very glad that the erudite spokesperson of the DMK or the supporter is talking about Supreme Court. It was the Supreme Court that said the bail should be denied to the Coimbatore bombers, the terrorists. And it was the Tamil Nadu government that ignored the Supreme Court directions and released them. So much for adhering to the Supreme Court. The point out here is twofold. Number one, it is no one's contention that the DMK government is anti-Sanatani. There's no point even talking about it when the sitting ministers are talking about eradicating it, when another sitting minister is saying Hinduism is a menace. These are parasites, these are dengue, mosquitoes. So there is no doubt about it, and there are ample evidence to prove that. The question here is not about the government, Navika. The question out here is about the honorable judges and the High Court. The question is not about the legislature, which is clearly performing its duty as it deems fit about being anti-Hindu. The question is about the judiciary. And here I'd like to make a couple of points. Look at the double standards. When the High Court stays mum, when Darul Uloom almost ratifies Ghazwa-e-Hind, then High Court doesn't step in. High Court doesn't step in when the Supreme Court and other justices say, why are you being so touchy when an MLA or an MP is just wanting to burn Ramcharitmanas? At the same time, they castigate Nipur for quoting a scripture, holy scripture, and burning the country down. The double standards are absolutely apparent when the Supreme Court refuses to open the criminal cases against Kashmiri Pandits because too much time had elapsed. And 6 months after that judgment, they say, make a SIT to investigate the criminal cases against the Sikhs in the Sikh genocide that happened 7 years earlier. This is the discrimination out here. What was the need? Yes, I agree. A petition was there. It must be investigated, no doubt. But what was the need for the High Court to be so conceited? And I dare say misogynist in saying, Sadhguru has married off his daughter and the daughter is living very well. Why is the Sadhguru then having women living as hermits in the ashram? What is the point of High Court talking about this? Is it not the job of the woman, an independent woman, to choose as she pleases how she wants to lead the life? That is the problem out here. You have two standards that are being exhibited by the judiciary. It's not about the government in this case at all. It's about the judiciary.
You think 150 people from the police going to look for two girls is okay? Is it kosher? Or is this an overreaction?
It is an overreaction. It is. But then they have a defense. They have a defense by saying the ashram is so big. You can always do that. The point out here is about the judiciary, not about the executive. The executive is clearly anti.
But it is the judiciary that is being questioned by Mr. Harish, because he says the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has gotten into this case. Why should the Supreme Court not get into this case? And I want to ask Dr. Sanjay Jha. Sanjay Jha, I see a pattern.
Even without.
Yes, Harish. Even without
even without the submission of the reports, even before receiving the submission of the reports, what is the need? That is what we are asking. Even that is happening within 24 hours.
No, so if Isha Foundation, you think, does not have the right to go to a higher court?
When previous panelist who spoke and gave her his aspersions on the High Court, two justices who have got this intention, we can do the same thing, right? He was filling his own aspirations for the aspirations for the High Court of Chennai.
So your case is, he's talking about the High Court, and then there is the Supreme Court, which is the higher court, and that's the way the institutions are placed in this country. And and the Supreme Court has decided whether the High Court was right or wrong. They have stayed the High Court, and that is what this land will go by. But Dr. Sanjay Jha, my question to you is, how come the Congress party could not find its voice when Sanatan was being slandered, when eradication of Sanatan was being called for? Will they stay as mum as that if there were other religions that were being spoken about in this context? Number two, when 150 policemen enter Isha Foundation, would the Congress find its voice to say that this seems like an overreaction, or will the Congress also keep quiet because it is the Hindu religion which is on target, and a spiritual leader probably followed by many Hindus, though I think he internationally has several followers? But is this all kosher for you? The Congress party has nothing to say?
Navika, good evening. Firstly, my friend Harish from the DMK has already made some very relevant points, and I'm sure we'll go back to that on the debate. But I have a problem. I have a huge problem with the Bharatiya Janata Party trying to appropriate the great religion of Hinduism or Sanatan Dharma, to which even I belong. And I refuse to accept the BJP or the RSS or the VHP or the right-wing ecosystem trying to appropriate my religion. And since we are all talking about the Supreme Court, let me give you an example that your viewers need to know. What did the Supreme Court say on Baba Ramdev's Patanjali? Baba Ramdev, as we all know, is a big supporter of Mr. Modi and the BJP's politics and the ideology of Hindutva. When Baba Ramdev, during the horrendous time when Indians were dying in the COVID pandemic, he came up with a very dubious medicine. Guess what happened, Navika? At the launch of that coronil, guess who were there? Nitin Gadkari, Harshvardhan. And guess what the Supreme Court said? That these were dubious products and they fooled the people of India. They were made to believe that this is going to be a solution and a panacea against COVID. And Mr. Modi's government, the Uttarakhand government, kept quiet. Why? Because Baba Ramdev is a big symbolic supporter of the BJP. So the BJP has got a habit.
No. Dr. Sanjay Jha, you are comparing the incomparables. Let me tell you why. Simply because when it was launched, you're talking about presence of BJP leaders. After the Supreme Court judgment, did anybody stand there and say, no, what the Supreme Court is saying is wrong? Today, Harish's argument is that what the Supreme Court is doing is suspicious. At least that's the interpretation or paraphrasing of what he's actually saying.
Let me answer that, Navika. Let me answer that. I heard Harish, and Harish is a dear friend of mine. I need to make a public disclosure on that. But let me answer why I think he is probably put up a statement which I think anyone has a right in our democracy, if we are a democracy yet, to question the Supreme Court. I have heard BJP leaders question the Supreme Court. He is basically saying the point that a lot of people are discussing today, which is why I came on your program. There are accusations of POSCO allegedly against a doctor. Let that be investigated. I read a report that the police in Madras, or Chennai as you would like to call it, has actually gone and said that some people were missing. The foundation has denied it, but let that be investigated. End of day, there is a father. There is a father who says my daughters are held there in a certain environment that he believes is not conducive to their future.
Are those
And
daughters adults? And now that the Chief Justice of India has spoken to those daughters, the bench has spoken. I want to ask, no. The point here is Sanjay Jha, the Chief Justice has not given an order today without speaking to the girls or the women as they are in this case. They are saying they are there out of their own free will. The matter has been investigated, but it is kosher to question the Supreme Court because this is a democracy. But it is not kosher to question the Madras High Court as Anand Ranganathan did.
Well,
how do you argue both points?
Did you realize what the Madras High Court also mentioned? It is a very critical part of what they said. They said there is an apparent hostility between the father and the daughters. And these things happen, unfortunate, but they do happen. So I think this, by the way, you started by saying the Supreme Court putting a stay is a vindication. It is not a vindication. The matter is sub judice. We don't even know what the final report of the investigation is going to say.
Radhika Khera, when Harish says that the Supreme Court is suspicious, then the matter is not sub judice. When I say that this is vindication for Sadhguru and Isha Foundation, then the matter becomes sub judice. Arguments that are being put up hypocritically, absolutely opposing each other by the same gentleman on the same side of the fence. How do you see this?
Namaskar, Navika ji. First of all, I would like to wish every one of your viewers and everyone on the panel sitting here and you as well a very happy Navratri. Now, coming back to the topic. Here we are talking about, Sanjay Jha ji is talking about the hostility between the father and the daughter. Well, let me tell him a certain few things. I'm the oldest daughter of my family, and obviously if a daughter does not get married, any father would have his issues, and वो डर रहता है कि अरे लड़की ने शादी नहीं करी. That's the kind of society we live in, and all our parents, everyone's parents wants their children to get married. Now here the daughters who are not 2 years old or 15 years old, one is 39 and one is 42. They have taken that decision and that is entirely up to them. What is happening in their family is their problem. That does not concern us over here, or nor does it concern Mr. Jha. But they've taken it to court, they're going to settle the matter. But what is happening, 150 police personnel are storming into the foundation. Why? Why are we even surprised? Isn't it the police under the same party which says that on 13th September they said Hindu religion is a menace not only to India but to the entire world? The son of the chief minister, who is now the deputy chief minister of Tamil Nadu, he says that he wants to destroy Sanatan Dharma. Then the Congress president, Mallikarjun Kharge's son, the new Rahul Gandhi, he goes on to say that I congratulate the organizers of this conference for naming it eradication of Sanatan Dharma instead of opposing Sanatan Dharma. Now these are the views of the government which is in power over there, which sent the 150 police officers. If they had to do an inquiry, I'm sure it is not a place where there are any hard criminals over there. Now there have been instances where people have died because of spurious liquor in Tamil Nadu. Did 150 policemen storm those places? No. There are cases of crime against women. Did 150 policemen storm those places? No. Did 150 policemen storm the houses of those people who have spoken against Hinduism? No. So now you have to please be on the straight line, like Priyank Khadge had the guts to be on the straight line. That what we are absolutely against Sanatan Dharma and we are absolutely against Hinduism. That is why we feel that Sanatan Dharma is equivalent to Corona, to malaria and dengue. That is the line of the India alliance of the Congress and the DMK, and the alliance of the Congress DMK which is ruling Tamil Nadu. And the Supreme Leader Rahul Gandhi goes on to say that he will destroy Shakti. He has also gone to say कि नाच गाना होता है राम मंदिर में. So all this is not surprising, but it is questionable. And what is even more questionable is those so-called secularists who on social media keep ranting. And mind you, if this had happened and something like this would have been related to another religion, maybe for example Islam for that matter, we saw when the triple talaq bill was being brought out, how the secular people, so-called secular Khan market people and even Sanjay Jha ji opposed it, and they were all get, how can you do that, how can you do that? Did anyone come and stand for Hinduism and Sanatan Dharma over here?
Sanjay Jha, respond.
Quiet today.
Respond.
No, it was not right for 150 policemen to enter the place.
Yeah, Navika, I think maybe a Freudian slip, but I take it as a compliment to be called the secular people because the BJP exposes itself publicly that it is anti-secular. Point number one. Point number two, end of day, I want to hear an apology from Mr. Modi and the BJP to the people of this country. And I speak as an ordinary citizen that you misled the people when they were dying in the COVID because you wanted to support Patanjali and you were doing that shamelessly and blatantly. And the Supreme Court had to use words like, we will rip you apart. And then an apology came from Ramdev.
No.
Was not good
you
enough.
have no answers for the fact that 150 policemen have not gone into RG Kaur. They have not gone to protect any women anywhere, but they've gone into Isha Foundation. You have not said anything about the charges that have been made by Radhika Khera. Your attack is only on Baba Ramdev and Patanjali. Radhika Khera wants to respond to that. Let her respond. This is rapid fire. Let her respond and I'll come back to you, Radhika Khera.
Tamil Nadu government. They are following up
since we are talking about apologies. Navika ji, since we are talking about Sanjay ji, since you're so interested in apologies, are you going to ask Rahul Gandhi and the entire India Alliance to apologize for that entire drama they created कि संविधान खतरे में है, the lies that they spread and the संविधान खतरे में कभी नहीं था? Is Rahul Gandhi going to apologize for saying मैं शक्ति खत्म करूंगा? Is Rahul Gandhi going to apologize for every time he has remained silent when a woman has been molested by a Congress office bearer in the Congress office? And is he going to apologize for that? Is he going to apologize for the 1984 riots? No, you will not ask him to because you don't have the guts to. Will you ask him to apologize on the entire issue that happened when the triple talaq issue was being happened, how the Congress was against the whole thing, against the rights of the women, Muslim women? Is he going to apologize? Is Rahul Gandhi going to apologize for saying कि राम मंदिर में नाच गाना हो रहा था? Are you going to have the guts to ask Rahul Gandhi to apologize on that? And no, calling you so-called secular out is very important. It is not a compliment. If insulting your own religion, keeping quiet for supporting your own religion is being called secular, I'm sorry. That is not being called secular.
By the way, she did call it so-called secular as the pseudo-seculars are often called, Sanjay Jha. My question is also very fundamental to this, and Tariq Khan, I'm asking you straight because you're part of the India Alliance as well. And Tariq Khan, I'm asking you this because Sadhguru is a major voice against government ownership of temples, especially in Tamil Nadu. Is he on target because of that? And is that why? Because lots of money, lots of revenue comes from temples in Tamil Nadu. And is that voice being crushed by the action taken by the DMK Sarkar and the Tamil Nadu Police the way they acted yesterday? Tariq Khan.
Why I'm not able to understand why all these things is being framed as if I know what I know. Guruji has a good relationship with Karunanidhi, with Stalin as well. When he became the chief minister, he even congratulated him. Now, what the court had said? Court had said to put an inquiry. So
and an inquiry is done by 150 policemen raiding Isha Foundation.
Let them to decide. They are not raiding. Court order. If they'll not follow the order, it will be a contempt of court. Now what? How could you say that the state government has order? It's directly the court. It's between the father and that girl and two courts. Now where is the state government and what we are doing? It's between them. Now, when the Supreme Court says that please stop it here. Now, even though they have no guts to raise now.
So how very simple is that? Anand Ranganathan, why are you misreading everything? It's between High Court and it is between the Supreme Court and the father and the daughter. Where does the state government or the state police come into this? What a wonderful argument. Please respond.
I just want one small rebuttal to my good friend Dr. Sanjay Jha. It is correct for him to bring up the matter of Baba Ramdev, and in this country, in any country, nobody should claim the benefits of a medicine because it can potentially take lives, and that's unacceptable. But I'd like to ask him, why does he always indulge in selectivity? Does he believe the fact that science all through the world has debunked the claims of homeopathy? Why will he condemn the Congress for giving Padma Shri to homeopaths? Should he believe that homeopathy should not be practiced and should be banned, that the H in Ayush should be removed? Let's not have double standards out here. Now let me come to Mr. Tariq.
Rejoinder.
He is quite right. Yeah, Sanjay, 1 second. Yeah, he is quite right that 150 people stormed or went and investigated. Is he not at all concerned by the fact that if at all investigations were to happen, the two women in question had already deposited before the honorable bench, not only High Court, Navika, but Supreme Court as well. And they were saying they are doing this out of their own will. They have even, for heaven's sake, gone and run marathons. They are not being held against their will. Why do you need 150 people? Tariq bhai, 2 or 3 are enough, aren't they?
Let me say something. Since 2016, many people are missing from the ashram. That's why they have compiled all the thing and do a probe that what is happening in the ashram. If the court is saying police will not follow what, you will say that it's the contempt of court.
आपको पता चल गया. आपने कहा 2 courts के बीच में. Now you are saying that the police has compiled, everything has been done because they are looking from cases from 2000.
You should ask. You should call DGP as well here. हम लोगों को डीएसपी को भी बुलाना चाहिए कोयम्बटूर के, वो अच्छा आंसर देते हैं यहाँ पर कि क्यों वो इतने लोगों को लेके गए.
Well, Radhika Khera, how come they have an explanation from 2016 to 2024, but never will they raise any question against the government or against the statements? You know, this is Tamil Nadu Police, 150 people going in. They have nothing to say even about the comments against Sanatan that have been made earlier. Is this just simply Sanatan bashing and anybody who represents Sanatan or temples or crusades and campaigns about freeing temples from government control, if they are under attack, it's all kosher?
Navika ji, as a student of law, I know for a fact that the court did not ask the police to go with 150 policemen. That is, the court has said, yes, there should be an inquiry and the police should go there and file a report and give them the report. But the court never mentioned that you have to take 150 odd policemen and storm the foundation. Secondly, the police had an ASP rank officer, 3 DSPs and lots of other senior officers also. Just to what, if they were going for a regular inquiry like they're saying and to see things and certain things, so many things have been happening for very long. Had the DMK government been sleeping? But it is a known fact that the DMK government and the Congress party, the party that is in coalition over there, they are absolutely anti-Sanatan and anti-Hindu. There is no iota of doubt on that matter that they are anti-Hindu. I have read out each and every comment of Congress President's son, Rahul Gandhi, the Supremo of India Alliance, DMK's Chief Minister, the son, the Deputy Chief Minister, the family-run, family-owned corporation of DMK and Congress Party are absolutely anti-Hinduism. So all this was bound to happen. Their main aim is to eradicate Hinduism and Sanatana, which they've said openly. Hasn't Stalin's son openly said that I want to eradicate Hinduism? Hasn't Priyank Khadge gone on record to say, very good that the topic of the conference is eradication of Hinduism?
And in the past, they've even appreciated the Supreme Court, whether it is on the electoral bonds issue, whether it is on the subclassification of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. So support the Supreme Court when it is convenient, oppose the Supreme Court and raise questions and suspicions when it doesn't go your way. Is that how politics is going to be carried out in this country? And on the receiving end, questions. And why only one religion on target is a question that will continue to be asked. Because this does not happen with any other religion in any of the India Alliance ruled state. Why? Why only Sanatan? Why only Hindus are on target? Is a question public is asking. Thank you very much to all my panelists for joining me on debate number 1. On the other